know something that didn't seem man-made, bro. You know what I mean? That seemed like some other shit. It was in my mind. It told me, and it warned me. Said, hey, fool, fucking, yeah. So yeah, and DMT. That's when I've met the light beings, bro. The ones that know me and love me, bro. That's who I'm connected with. Is
Can you tell us about a DMT experience that has made an impact on you? We've never tried DMT, but we hear some people do it to contact other realms or other dimensions.
So I would be here for 5 hours if we continue this part of the conversation. So I'm going to just explain one trip, one profound trip I had. So my homie Prone from GAW was having a bad trip where like he fucking came to my house. He's like, hey, fool, fucking. And he had, you know what I mean? He's like, fucking, I need to smoke something. I'm like, what? And I was fucking with him, and he's like, fucking, I don't give a fuck, fool, just pack me something. And he's talking about hash or, you know, weed or some shit. So I fuck with him, and I pack him a fucking load of fucking DMT, you know what I mean? And sat him outside my yard, and this fool hits it, and I go inside to give him his privacy, you know what I mean? And then, and he had never blasted off before. That's blasting off is to smoke DMT and go all the way in. And so I come out, and I wasn't planning on doing it myself that day. I come out, and then this fool's sitting, the pipe's on the floor. He's like this with his hands. He's like, holy shit. So I saw that fractal, that spider web thing, everything you talked about, I get it now. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Then I got jealous, you know what I mean? That was some good shit. And so that night, I thought, okay, I'm going to do it tonight. I'm going to smoke that shit out the fucking bong. Fuck it. Not just out the pipe, out the bong, right? Big ass bong like that. And then, but then I noticed I had a headache. I'm like, fuck, dude, I want to blast off tonight. I can do that shit with that strongest psychedelic known to man with a fucking headache. That's that fuck it, dude. I'm not gonna just fuck it, dude, anyway. And so then I put like this mat down. I did it all like ceremonial style. Laid this mat down. I put the bong right there. I said, fucking idiot, fool, don't do this with a headache. Nah, fuck it, dude, just do it. And I fucking ripped it. And then I'm like, and it started creeping. And the way to do it, you hit it, and then fucking let it creep, and then finish the rest of it and hold it as long as you can, and you exhale, right? Following the rules of instructions by Terence McKenna. The headache, I feel the headache. I start to emphasize on the headache. So I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Why did you do this? Oh, and I felt like it just became this headache trip. And then I'm like, I felt a knot right here in my shoulder or my back, and then I just put pressure on it, and then I lied down real quick on the mat, hit it a second time. Dude, it felt like I popped something in my shoulder that released something, and the headache was fucking neutralized, bro, like completely gone. And then I'm like, what the fuck? I've never felt a migraine, because I've gotten since I was a kid, a headache just completely go away, bro. Or like, how is this possible? And the shit was creeping on me. And then I was lying down, and then I start to look up, and I see a basketball, like a monochromatic, but like with a slight tinge of like fucking turquoise basketball. And what the fuck? Like literally like the size of a basketball. You know how the seams of the basketball? And what the fuck? And then I'm starting to realize, I don't know what the fuck that is, but I remember Terence McKenna talking about self-dribbling basketball. So I think it was kind of like a psychosomatic thing of me bringing someone else's philosophy into my trip. So I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I went closer to look. I don't know I looked closer, bro, on the hood. That was an eyeball, homie. It was a closed reptilian eyeball, but it was sending love vibrations. It wasn't sending, like, I'll bite your head off. And what it was the eyeball of a fucking dragon. The dragon was guarding some sort of porthole or something. This is right in my room where I still live right now. And I said, fuck it, with no fear. And I didn't touch it, but I went close enough to like a few inches from it to look at the scales of the dragon. And it was sleeping. That's why the eyes were closed. I could see it fluctuating and breathing. It was gears upon gears of multiple shapes, hexagonal patterns. And I have a painting on my Instagram that I painted the day after. Actually, Justin Bua owns it. I gave it to him years ago. But it's multiple shapes and weird sacred geometry, but that I'm actually freestyling. And what I saw was impossible to reduplicate with our bandwidth of what we see here. I was seeing colors that are impossible. And so then I back up, and then I see a porthole, right? It was like a light porthole going through my ceiling, and it was some light beings, and I don't know why, because I couldn't see them, but I could feel them, and I sensed them as like kind of like the movie Cocoon, and they asked me to chant. And so I said, chant? Why the fuck? Well, like, cause that's what would entertain them, and what they wanted to hear was a chant, and I knew the chant, and it was like like a Buddhist chant, and I did that, and I noticed, right now I went, and it kind of went like that, so I had to sit up, and I did it, bro, and these fools applaud me, dude. They said, we love you, all of them. They're like, wow, like it felt like I was fucking dude, Rakim at a show in the Bronx in front of everybody, like, yo, like they treated me like, dude, I had tears in my eyes, bro. I was like, what the fuck? And that was like 10 years ago, bro. And then so a couple months ago, I can't even explain what happened, bro. I can't even explain what happened. And if you see my style, my wild style, you can see the progression of my style. You can see it in my style. It's part of that grid that I see on the DMT trip. I went to the future. I saw some straight magician dude at some like theme park shit. He was like, look behind the robe, and there was some shit. And then all these fonts and letter schemes came up, and I'm like, dude, that's one. I can't even explain it. It's like I came back. I opened my eyes, I said, what the fuck? What the fuck? And then I had the nerve to blast off, bro, at a fucking graveyard, bro. Like, I'm fearless, obviously. At a graveyard where my wife's father's buried. And I said, fuck it. I blasted off by his burial site in the car. And I hit that shit, and at first I'm like, fuck, I got paranoid because of the security guard. I'm like, to see me, like, are they tripping on me and shit? And then I tripped on the palm trees for a while, and then I looked at then I decided to fuck it, don't worry, fearless. Look at the tombstones, homie. I looked at thousands of tombstones. Dude, I saw thumbnails, with print and index on the thumbnail saying, this is John Doe. He was born in 1942. Okay, I stopped looking over there, bro. I was seeing detail, and that's what it does. It breaks everything down to a more technical understanding. Dude, we're not alone. And DMT, whether it's taking you to a porthole and connecting us to something light years away, or if it's something in a parallel dimension, it's something that is definitely real, if not more real, once you see. Like, I cannot say me sitting here physically is more real than these entities in that realm. And I think it's like an ocean coinciding that's constantly moving amongst us. So when you go there, you have a different experience because it's moving in a different direction. Hexagonally, I don't know, or orthogonal timelines like Philip K. Dick would talk about, but there's something else there, and it's real as fuck because you're able to bring it back. That's a transferable point. That's what I do with my art. And back to who taught me, self-taught with little help, you know what I mean?